Hi guys, in this tutorial we're going to be creating this fly that animates around. Pretty cool. Looks quite real if I just give you a little render playback. There you go. Looks kind of cool, but there wasn't actually a fly there. So let's get started. Create a new composition. We're going to call it Fly Buzz. One thing to bear in mind is that no special effect is complete without an appropriate sound to follow. For instance, if I had a fly in the shot, you then want a flying fly. Now I have a Photoshop document, and basically I have a layer with just a fly and a layer with a background. So to get our layers, we have to import it as a composition, which I've already done. We've already got the layers here, so I'm going to bring out this layer and bring out this layer. And if we bring our fly on top, going to delete that layer, going to name this one BG, and this one fly. Because if we solo it, we can see it's just a fly, and this one is just the background. Okay, beautiful. Now the first thing I did was that I gave it a bit of a fly kind of wiggle. So we go P for position, alt click, and type wiggle. We about 20 pixels, 10 times a second. Hit. Just click out, and that will, as you can see, it's now got a bit of a wiggle. But I mean, yeah, it's okay-ish. But for this tutorial, we're going to bump it up to 30. Oh, have I done it the wrong way around? Sorry, guys. 10, 30. There you go. Which looks okay, but we don't have much control. We want it to be flying all over the place. So, best thing to do, in my opinion, is create a null object. Go to the first frame, new, null object, and we're going to parent our fly to our null object. So, we start animating the position of our null. It's going to move the fly. And just move it around a bit. We can even make it go off the screen. We don't want it to seem like a cheesy special effect where it never leaves the area. However, it probably won't ever leave the premises of the window, only because flies look for the light, don't they? So as you can see, we've now got a fly that buzzes all over the place. And one thing I needed to do for the shot, so that the following shot, if you follow the previous tutorial with the squash, so that that lines up, is that I needed the fly to end up in the finishing position. So to do that, I simply took our original Photoshop document, put that over the top, and that is where we want the fly to be. How do we get it there? Well, so what we want to do is we want to take our null object and on this keyframe change it to the original stationary position, which is, if we hit P here, we can see it's 480 by 270. So at this keyframe, change this to 480 by 270. And that will put our fly in the original position, apart from the fact that the fly is moving here. But we can stop it from wiggling by just cutting in our original over the top. Just like that. Okay, so we've got our fly in there, it's moving around, but at the moment it looks like a weird thing moving. If we add in some motion blur, turn on motion blur, and also turn it on for the fly layer and for our null object. You can see it looks a lot more realistic now. And what you want to do is on our original layer, change it, make that blur a bit. And just change it to about 1. And then a few frames later, page down to scrub through frames, set it to 0. Just so it doesn't go stationary straight away. And it's them subtle things that make a difference. There's a couple of things we can do. What I did an adjustment layer, and because I was working with a still frame, I wanted to add some noise, just to make it look like it was a bit of video footage. You want to put it about 4%. Don't use colour noise, it just gets, then it looks like actual gay noise. You know what I mean, it just looks rubbish. It's a bit OTT, I think 4% was good. And you can even add some camera movement. If you know how to do that, great. If not, what you want to do, grab the composition, stick it in a new one. That's same as selecting everything and pre-composing it. And go position, Alt, and wiggle it about 3 times a second, move it maybe 15 pixels. Which will, give it a bit of movement. I want to add some motion blur. And then you also just want to bump up the scale, just so we don't get any letterboxing. So yeah, that's how I created the fly shot. I didn't actually add in the movement because I wanted it to be stationary, but just to get that extra bit of realism, that's what you can do. Thank you very much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with a new tutorial.